Hello, sports fans. Welcome to DDN Sports Central. It is not news today. On today's edition, we'll be looking at the recent downtimes in Nigerian sports, and also we'll take a rundown of some of Nigeria's firsts in global sports. And then we'll look at some iconic moments in Nigerian sports. So, stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. Sit back, relax, as DDN Sports Central will take its time to serve you some juicy details. DDN Sports Central will be right back. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back. So, because I don't want to spoil the dish, you understand, it's better I taste the sour one before I taste the sweet one. It was just something like that was also mentioned in the scriptures. I think something like that was mentioned. Anyways, whatever it is, we start with the downtimes of Nigerian sports. This includes, remember, the 88-man contingent of Nigeria to the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. They traveled, but they came back with nothing. And annoyingly, Faithful Ofili's name was omitted from the 100 meters event despite her qualifying. And it led to a lot of criticism, including from me. I was really unhappy because I don't know how somebody will qualify. And then they said it was a mistake from the Sports Federation, something that till date I don't understand the explanations they gave. And then there are issues of sports development, lack of funding from governments, poor infrastructure, doping scandals, and underperformance compared to past achievements, particularly in football. Athletes like Divine Oduduru, Blessing Okagbari, they are banned for doping violations. And then football just went down. Football just went down as they could not replicate the successes of the golden era, 1996, 1994, 1996. Okay, that aside, let's now take a look at the golden moments, or will I say Nigeria's firsts in some of the global sporting events. In 1963, Nigeria hosted the first boxing world title event on the African continent outside of South Africa. It must have been something remarkable. But from pictures, I wasn't born then. From pictures, it looked great. I wasn't born then. Maybe? Right? No. Okay, in 1985, we also told you something about 1985 in one of the editions, where Nigeria won the maiden edition of the Under-17 Kodak World Cup. Nigeria defeated Germany 2 goals. And then in 1996, we also told you in the previous edition that Nigeria became the first African country to win a gold medal in the Olympic soccer event, whether male or female. Also in that 1996 Olympics, Chioma Ajunwa became the first Nigerian and the first African woman to win an Olympic gold medal in a field event, which was the long jump. Then also in 2004, the People's Elephant, in fact, that was when they became popular. The People's Elephant won back-to-back of the CAF Champions League. In December 2004, the Aba-based club etched its name in Africa football history by becoming the first team to win the CAF Champions League back-to-back. This remarkable achievement marked the first time a team had successfully defended the African title in 36 years, showcasing Enyimba's exceptional talent and dominance on the continental stage. Enyimba Football Club won their second CAF Champions League title, beating Etoile Sahel 5-3 on penalties. 21 years down the line, they remain the only Nigerian club side with a Champions League title trophy to their name. That's too sad. I wish they had even kept those boys back then to form the national team. Before you know it, everybody now started stamping for club sides abroad. Anyways, in boxing 2008, Nigeria Nightmare Samuel Peters defeated Russian-American Oleg Maskev in the final seconds of the sixth round to claim the WBC heavyweight title. The fight was a brutal exchange of punches with both fighters landing powerful blows. However, Peter's relentless push and aggression and superior skill ultimately proved decisive as he broke through Masquer's defenses and secured a victory that solidified his status as a dominant force in the heavyweight boxing division. He was tagged the Nigerian Nightmare. But soon after that, Samuel Peters had nightmare. Okay, in 2013, Nigeria Super Eagles won their third AFCON after a 19-year gap, winning 1-0 in the final match against Burkina Faso. Sunday Mba scored Nigeria's winning goal. Late Stephen Keshi became the first African to win the Africa Cup of Nations as player and coach. In 2015, 32-year-old Wellington Jigere became the first African to win a Scrabble World Championship, triumphing over 129 players from 33 nations, including England's Lewis Mackay, whom he walloped 4-0 in the finals. Now to basketball. In 2015, the D Tigers secured the first Afro Basket Championship in a historic achievement for Nigerian basketball. The D Tigers claimed the 2015 Afro Basket Championship, defeating Angola, champions then, the superpowers then, 74-65 in the finals. This marked Nigeria's first ever victory in the tournament, showcasing their rising stature on the African basketball stage. The D Tigers' triumph was fueled by the exceptional performance of Chamberlain Oguchi, who won the tournament's most valuable player. Oguchi's leadership and scoring prowess were instrumental in leading Nigeria to victory. Okay, in 2022 World Athletics Championships, Tobi Amusan, our Golden Girl, became the first Nigerian to win a gold medal at the World Championships held in Eugene, United States of America, in the women's 100 meters hurdles. She also set a new world record of 12.06 seconds. Now, just last year, 2024, the Tigress ended a 2-year decade Olympic drought. The Nigerian women's basketball team, the D Tigress, marked a significant milestone by ending their 2-decade wait for an Olympic victory. They secured their first win at the Olympic Games by defeating highly favored Australia by 75-62 points during the basketball tournament of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The D Tigresses have been the ones giving us a lot of smiles, a lot of things to celebrate for of recent in basketball. Also, Nigeria won the African Footballer of the Year award back-to-back in 2023 and 2024. In 2023, it was Super Victor Osimhen, who won the award. In fact, he won the award while playing for Napoli. Victor Osimhen recently is playing for Galatasaray in Turkey. But when he won the award, he was playing for Napoli in Italy. Victor Osimhen was fantastic for both club and country, scoring fantastic goals to get the award. And then in 2024, it was the turn of another Nigerian, Ademola Lookman, who in fact, he has not been doing that sparkling well of late, but then within the year that gave the awards in 2024 to him, he was fantastic. He was phenomenal as he helped Atalanta to win the Europa Cup last year. In fact, he was the one that scored a hat-trick. He scored the 3 goals with which Atalanta lifted the trophy. And we are hoping that this year, 2025, we are going to be having a lot more laurels added to Nigeria's global sporting cabinet. This year, they've actually been doing well. There have been a lot of great pushes, especially in the athletics world. Let's just hope that they are able to translate it into the major global sporting events as the years go by. We hope that 2025 will be a year of successes for Nigeria. Well, sadly, it's looking like Nigeria may not qualify for the World Cup next year. But let's hope that there will be this element of luck that will come to play for Nigeria so that Nigeria somehow, I'm not hanging my hopes too high, but somehow let's see if we can manage to swoop over South Africa and the ones above us, Rwanda and the likes, and then be able to qualify for the World Cup next year. And then the Nations Cup is somewhere down the line later in the year, December, thereabout. And we hope we do well as well in that one. Not too far from now, Nigeria will be participating in the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Under-17 World Cup as well for the women is also along the line in the course of the year. So let's hope that 2025 will be a year of great successes for Nigeria and Nigerian sports. So with that, we have come to the end of today's edition. Feel free to share some other moments. In fact, what pushed me to get these particular highlights was a comment from someone who said that I actually skipped so many moments when I did the last edition of great moments in Nigerian sports. I said some, I didn't say all. So I decided to bring in more of the success of Nigerian sports. So feel free to put in your comments on this edition and previous editions as well. So like, share, comment, and do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Diaspora Digital Media. Follow us on Twitter at Diaspora DM, Instagram at Diaspora DM, on all social media handles, Diaspora Digital Media. Until I come your way again with another exciting edition of DDM Sports Central, I want you to stay, please stay in love, and be your host with the Sparks. You have a lovely and sporty day ahead.